introduce to Kim Taylor.
Hi, good evening everybody. I think I know most of you out there. Kim Taylor, the Vice Principal, responsible for secondary.
Thanks Kim, and nice to have you along. And then a new face to you all, Kimberly Tucker. Kimberly, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Tucker. I'm the new Senko at Parkfield. I will talk to you a bit later a little bit more about what I'm going to do.
Thanks Kimberly. So the aim really of this Zoom call is to have the opportunity for you to know that we're still here, for us to say a huge thank you to all of you for your support over this last week. We've had some really positive comments, and it's been really well received by us, and thank you very much for that. It's been a huge learning curve for all of us, and staff and pupils alike, but I will say the students are so adaptable to the new technology, and we are only, I think it's 3 days in really, so it's been a very fast paced learn, and we are adapting and we are evolving our processes and our practice as we go. Staff are becoming more proficient and more confident in the use of Teams. Our amazing students are telling staff little bits and bobs that they're picking up along the way. So we really all are learning together on this to give us greater experience as we possibly can online. Just to let you know that if you've got any questions that you haven't been able to post through before the Zoom started in the registration, then please do pop them onto the chat, and we will do our very best to respond to those today as we go through. But if we don't, we will send out a frequently asked questions document in order for you to have any responses that you need done. And we will try and do a little bit through the chat as we go, but we just wanted to give you the chance to see us, to see that we're here, and to let you know what our plans are really. So the engagement has been great by our secondary students, and thank you very much for that. We sent out the expectations email yesterday, and that was really just to set out what it is that we're all trying to do on Teams and how we can learn most effectively together in order to ensure that the learning goes forward in the way that we would want. Government guidance now this time is that remote learning is of live quality as much as it can be. There are going to be some aspects that are going to be independent activities as well, just to give children a chance to be away from devices, particularly if in families you are sharing devices, then that can be difficult. So we're trying to get that blend right for you and for your children to make sure that home is as harmonious as it can be, and learning is as high quality as we can make it. So thank you for your feedback. It's always useful. You have an insight to the other side of the teaching, so please do share that with us, and we will do our very best to keep moving forward. I just have to keep telling myself that it is only Thursday. We are delighted to have our testing station set up at school now as well. So we are doing the lateral flow test. We've been doing that now since Tuesday. We started that with our staff. We were delighted to be able to test them first and foremost, to give them some assurances about being back in that learning environment. Educare has been overwhelmed with requests, so we're working to make sure that those young people are well catered for as well. Secondary aged Educare children are also being able to test if their families consent, so thanks to those who have. That's gone very well. The children again have been so adaptable to that. They are having to test themselves, which is no mean feat, having done it myself this week. So that's brilliant, but it allows us to know that our community is safe, and that asymptomatic cases are being picked up. We've tested over 50 of our school community over the last few days, and we're delighted with the way in which that's gone. So thank you to any of your family members who've been involved with that. So we're looking to put some support in for individual students where necessary around helping just get up to speed with Teams. We're going to be using some of our learning support assistants and our COVID catch-up cover supervisor, who we were able to appoint to start this week. So we're delighted with that, and Kimberly's role over the next week will be to timetable that with families where we think that children will benefit from some one-to-one through Teams, just to unpick some of the work that's been set if necessary, and to just have that chance to keep moving their learning forward at the pace that they need it as well. So I'm going to let Kimberly tell you a little bit more about what her role is going to be over the coming weeks, and to give you an update on where she's at. Kimberly.
Good evening, everyone. So currently I am sort of chasing through paperwork that's already in school, also supporting with the online learning. I know lots of you want to contact me and speak to me, and I will be in contact with as many of you in due course as I can. And like Claire said, we're going to look at setting up some LSA support for those children that need it as well. So I will be in contact.
Thanks, Kimberly. Just a great opportunity for parents to meet and see you. And yes, I know you've got a big job ahead of you at the moment, and changing schools in the middle of a lockdown is a hard thing to do. So thank you, and thank you for being with us this evening, just so that parents can meet you as well. So I'm just going to hand over to Kim to give you a bit of an update of some of the things that have been going on with the secondary students.
Thanks, Claire. And just to echo what Claire said, it's been so fantastic, and the engagement online from the secondary staff and support from the parents has been absolutely fantastic. Just to clarify a few points, that it has taken us a few days to iron out some of the routines on Microsoft Teams. So just to clarify, the time of the school day is it's a 9 o'clock start Monday to Thursday and an 8:30 start online on a Friday, finishing at 3:15 and 2:15 retrospectively. We've moved the community time to 2 o'clock to 2 to 2:15, which is their reading time within school. And this is just an opportunity for the community leaders to be online and for the students to do a check-in, a bit of a welfare check as well, troubleshooting if they've got any questions or queries or concerns, or they just want to talk to their community leader. So that's going to be the community time now, 2 to 2:15 on the Monday to the Thursday. There's also been some questions. Within the vast majority of our lessons are going to be the live learning. There are some subjects, however, that are going to be independent resources, which are now uploaded onto Teams. And I know that people have been asking where they've been yesterday. They are now on there, and that's for art. Miss Grant has very kindly, from her maternity at home, done some online resources, and she will also be doing over the next few weeks some one-to-one sessions with our Year 11 students, so that they can stay in touch and make sure that they're on the right track for their GCSEs. PSHE will also be online resources to complete, and also performing arts, so music, drama and dance. Just to follow on from the music, drama and dance as well, just to let you know about Miss Bray at the minute. Unfortunately, prior to lockdown, Miss Bray was taken quite ill. She is still with Parkfield School, but she's taken a break from the face-to-face teaching to spend some time to recover and to get herself back on track. She's still attached to Parkfield. We are very much looking forward to having her back, hopefully in the next few months, but at the minute she is not teaching the performing arts or a teacher within the school. So please don't email her with Teams questions while she's trying to rest up. If you do have questions about that, you can send them to your community leaders. With regards to our safeguarding this time round, we've made a few changes. In addition to the daily contact and the community times, community leaders will also be making contact with parents once every fortnight. So within that 2-week gap, they will make a contact with you to see how it's going from parents' perspective, to see how you're feeling about the students' well-being, and to do a general check-in where you can raise any concerns as well there. On the school website, we now also have a safeguarding tab. Within that tab, there's constantly updated information, resources and links to online counselling, wellbeing, etc., etc. And there's also an online worry box. So if the students do have any worries, they can go and they can enter, and that concern will go straight to a safeguarding officer within school. The last thing with regard to safeguarding is that there is also a new email address which will go straight to a safeguarding officer as well, and that is safeguarding@parkfield.bournemouth.sch.uk, and that is also on the school website. I think that's it from me. I'm just double checking my notes there. Yep, that's it. Back over to you, Claire.
Perfect. So just really to finish up with a few points, you'll have heard in the news, those of you who are parents of our Year 11s, that the exam series is now going to be cancelled, and we are awaiting further information as to what the assessment's going to look like for providing evidence for grades for the Year 11s. We would ask parents just to be patient while we work out what the government are going to tell us about that, and our aim will be that we will have a Year 11 parent specific Zoom call hopefully next week, if not next week because we don't have the information the week after, but our plea is that our young people in year 11 continue to join the live lessons. They have been actually excellent. They had a really good community group this week as well with their tutor, and we need them to keep working. We need them to keep completing their assessments, because we are not sure what the government is going to say in order for us to use evidence. And we will be hoping we return to school as close to February half term as we can, but obviously, as you will know, like we know in the news, then it's a movable feast. So we just need to keeping them on in all of their subjects, so that we can be assured that we have as much evidence for them to keep showing us that they're improving from their mocks, which they did before the Christmas break, so that we can give them the best grade we can, because we know we can evidence it. So please keep going with it. I know that was a huge blow for them to hear that at the beginning of this week, that suddenly the rug was pulled from under them. Teachers, we felt exactly the same. We work as hard to make sure our children have the chance to do the very best they can, and to not give them that opportunity to have that ratification of their abilities is really difficult. And so we are still encouraging them through live lessons. So please do encourage them through the dialogues you have at home, very much thinking about their next steps. And similarly for our year 10s, thinking about the fact that this is the crucial start to their options as well as their GCSEs. So to keep them motivated, to make sure that they don't have gaps in their learning, because that's really hard to pick up when we meet up again when we come back to school, because they will be having to continue to learn new content and then trying to fill gaps. So the more they can do now, the better we can be. And having those high expectations of how they are on the live lessons so that their learning isn't disrupted is so important for us. So using the Teams tools appropriately, like the email that I sent yesterday, just clearly laid out what we can all do as a community to work and learn harmoniously together, was in order for them to know what their expectations are of themselves and of other people to keep moving forward, and to support their teacher. It's really quite challenging if you're in school with educare children in your classroom as well as online students to keep all the plates spinning. So it just really helps us out as well, to make sure that we're not having disruption to the lesson, and we can keep the flow going, which helps all of the children really as we go through. So thank you in advance for that. Some of you will have got multiple learners at home in your home education environment, and we have got an order in with the Department for Education for a number of laptops. Certainly not enough for one each by any stretch of the imagination. We don't have them yet. We're hoping that they will be delivered, if not tomorrow, then early next week. And as soon as we do, if anybody has already said that they are in need of kit, then please do let us know. One thing I would say is I found out this week that the PSPs, devices and other gaming console, for example, the Xboxes, you can get onto Teams through the web browser. So if you are interested, if you have one and you're technologically minded, then please do have a look at that, because that could be a good way of adding another device to your family home. I know some of our children will have been fortunate enough to have benefited from devices over the Christmas period. So if that's of help, then that's just another avenue you might not have considered, and any feedback on that would be gratefully received. We're receiving some super messages from you of encouragement and thanks, and we do appreciate that. We do take on board the feedback. We are evolving the process all the time to make sure that we can meet the needs of all of our young people and support the families. We are a community, and we're trying our very best to make sure that we are responding to need where it arises as quickly as we possibly can, whilst getting the testing station set up and the online learning, as well as trying to understand what the government are going to say with regards to terminal qualifications. So lots going on at the moment. So we are working through and working as a team. So your support and feedback is gratefully received in all aspects. And we're working hard on the free school meal vouchers as well, and considering things like how we're going to make any necessary refunds if families have registered with wraparound care or transport. So bear with us while we get to that. I'm meeting with the finance director next week, so that's going to be priority. I know money is better to be in your hands than elsewhere, so we will be working on that and prioritising that. Thank you for the questions that came through in advance. One of the questions was around the use of the calendar in Teams to set up live lessons, so that children know where they have to go. We've had a little bit of a discrepancy between where those have been. We will be moving to encouraging secondary teachers to put all of the lessons onto the calendar, just so that you know where they are, the children know where they are, and it just has a consistent approach. As we've just gone off all guns blazing to get everything up and running, different practice has crept in, so we will just make sure that we standardize that, so that we can support you to help your children know where they can find their live lessons, so they don't miss out, and we certainly don't want them missing out on anything that we have. So I think that we'll be in touch with our exam families, and we have got some terminal exams next week. Actually, we've got some IT examinations that will happen next week, and so we will be working with families around those as well. And we thank you for your time this evening. We just wanted you to know that we are here, and that you have got an opportunity to know that we are still working. We're still working towards getting everything up and running, and we would like to offer another Zoom before February half term, in the hope that we'll be able to say to you, and we will be back in school as normal. But as you will know, like I do, it's a bit of a movable feast, and we will just have to wait to see what that looks like as we move forward. So there's some questions I'm just looking at through the chat, which is around getting a new timetable with the changes to timetables. And there's not going to be any specific changes to the timetable. They will follow their timetable as it is set. The only difference will be that those lessons that Miss Taylor had mentioned, PSHE, drama, art and music, they will be just posted activities on Teams for them to work through. And we will pick up on the learning and knowledge through those when they return to site. So that will be, those subjects won't be live lessons. So what's the best way for children to ask for help during a live lesson? It will be really to post that onto the chat in the classroom, or they can, if the teacher has allowed unmuting, they can do that. Or of course they can still use the traditional email system that the teachers will have open as well. But the chat is the best way to do that, which is why we're trying to encourage the children not to use the chat for just off-task communication, because it means that we can open the chat to enable people who have got questions to put those on there to get that. And the breaks are normal breaks, so that is 11 o'clock for break time and just before 1 o'clock for lunch time. So exactly the same structure as the day. If it would help for us to post that on our website, if it isn't already there, we'll get the school day put on there. If you've got any password restrictions, access forgotten, then if you email covid@parkfield.bournemouth.sch.uk, that will go directly to our network technician, who will reset that for you. So please do that. Can email addresses of teaching staff be put on the website? We'll certainly work out a way of putting that on there, but the configuration is normally the first initial dot their surname. So if we can help with that, then do let us know. But if you've got any questions and you don't know where to direct them, please send them to covid@parkfield.bournemouth.sch.uk. That's coming in to a limited number of people who we can then just field that out to where it needs to go. If you put that in the subject line, we can certainly do that for you. Another one about access, so hopefully that will work. And the timetable for parents to access, that's a really good one. Let me see if I can get an email of the timetable for the students out to you as parents. I'm sure that's something we can pull out of our system so that you can see that. So let me work on that, and we'll see if we can get that out to you tomorrow. I'm just sorry writing that down. That's a great idea, and yes, I know that will help. Yes, the questions that are posted on the chat actually in the lesson do remain there. So somebody's asking about, can the lesson questions be posted afterwards so we can recap? They stay there, they don't go. They stay on the general tab of the team for that subject. So you should be able to review all of those latterly once the call is finished. And Catherine, thank you very much. That's very kind. Thank you for your hard work. We're certainly trying hard, and with your support and with your contribution to it as well. I know home learning, remote learning is not easy for you either when you're trying to manage your work and day jobs and encouraging, and we're asking for our children to be encouraged to be part of this. We're hopeful that they are enjoying their learning. We've had some good experience of and feedback of the fact that children are enjoying what they're being asked to do, which is great. so that they do want to join, and they feel the benefit of being part of it and enjoy being with their classroom teachers. So thank you so much for giving up your evening this evening to join us. If you know colleagues, friends, other family members who haven't been able to join the Zoom tonight, then we will be posting this onto our YouTube channel, as I said, in the morning, so that they can access it if they need to. But thank you for looking out for each other, and keeping encouraging your children, and just still remembering it is only week 1 and things are going to get better. The children are going to get more familiar, and we'll soon think that this is the new normal again. So thank you very much, and we wish you a good rest of your evening, and we'll look forward to seeing you again before we break up for half term, just before February. So thank you.